All right, I call the North Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, March 17th, 2025 to order. Please join me in silent prayer and meditation. All right, thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gavino.
Here.
Trustee Christensen.
Here.
Trustee Curtis.
Here.
Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedredge.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you. We have a former police commissioner or is retiring, and on the step forward, I got a little something for him and say a few comments. So come on up.
And I did not bring my cane today.
Way up here. I'll meet you. So Brian's on the police commission for over 15 years, and we all appreciate the dedication, and the village is a much better place because of the work he's done and the testing and everything that's going on. So wish you best in retirement.
Thank you.
And happy anniversary.
Yep.
I think there's an anniversary too, right?
Of our engagement.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was 31 years. We're going to on 30 in April. So.
How's that possible?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3. Wow, thank you so much. Lisa and Phil, my comrades in arms, appreciate all the time and friend. And friend, yeah. I got to hold on to you for a second because I got the no cane tonight. Thank you so much for all the years of service with us, with me, and I do greatly appreciate it. Do appreciate the North Aurora Council and the mayor and the chief.
I'm still calling you on weekends.
Yeah. I'll stick the net after you. So, anyway, thank you all for this lovely award, and I appreciate the honor of being here tonight. So,
Yeah.
thanks again. Not very good.
All right, so since there's a vacancy on the police commission, I'd like to appoint Javier Gibert, the police commission, with your advice and consent.
All good.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Audience comments?
I don't think you need
Okay, consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
Yeah.
Trustee Gately.
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedredge.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Steve?
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 1 tonight is regarding document scanning services. The village is looking to enter into a contract with Konica Minolta in the amount of $51,712. This is phase 3 of a 3-part plan to start digitizing all of our files at the village. So it started with the purchasing of Office 365 and moving to SharePoint, where employees can share folders and documents with each other digitally. Then with the migration of all of our digital files, then the second part was actually migrating that to the cloud so everyone has access to everything and putting it in proper categories so that everyone can find it easily. And the third and final and the long and arduous project is the going into file cabinets and physically taking paper documents and digitizing them and coding them appropriately. Dave Arn, our IT manager, did RFP. We had several proposals. Konica Minolta came out as what we believe to be is the best proposal. One thing I will say is there's currently $30,000 in this fiscal year budget ending May 31st. There is $50,000 in the upcoming budget starting June 1 in our draft budget. Even though this amount is more than the 30 currently budgeted, we will work with Conoco Minolta to do as much as they can up to that $30,000 mark before June 1st, and then carry it over into the next year and use the budgeted funds to continue. And whatever remains of those budgeted funds, we'll move on to the next department. The first department we are doing is community development. It is by far the largest paper department that we have to digitize. If you've ever walked through Village Hall, there are 2 or 3 rooms of file cabinets of community development permits and maps, so. It's a motion.
Very good. Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Item 2, Nathan.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is for a TIF facade grant for the demolition of the car wash building at 101 South Lincoln Way. That's the BP Amoco station, so that's the car wash in back. The car wash has been closed for, I think, at least a decade. It's been dilapidated for some time. It had many code violations. We had court cases. The previous owners not only ignored our court cases, but apparently ignored their bank payments because it went to sheriff's sale. A new owner got it in January, and they are working to fix it up. So if you saw them working out there this week, we gave them a permit to fix up the convenience store. The next step is they're going to tear down the car wash, which we've been asking for a long time. It's a very dilapidated structure. And then they will come in also to try to fix up the signs. So the TIF program allows up to $20,000 for demolition of non-conforming and dilapidated structures. They have 2 quotes in the packet. Both are for more than $40,000. So the TIF allows you to go 50% up to a cap of 20. So since all of their quotes are over 40, they'll just be asking for the 20. And we brought this right to the final meeting for a vote because we're trying to rush this along. You will also see them back. They will be applying for a liquor license once they get the convenience store fixed up.
Motion to approve.
Discussion. I had a quick question. What's the timing of the grant? I noticed on the bids, it's 50% down up front. It sounds like.
So we don't pay until it's all done and they give us receipts.
That's all I needed. Thanks.
Yeah, I was asking the same question earlier, so yeah.
Yeah, that's our protocol.
Call the roll, please.
Okay. Trustee Gately? Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Item 3, Nathan.
Okay, this is for the Lincoln Valley Pond. It's a little bit of a strange thing. We don't do this very often, but it's to approve a private well. So this pond here, the ponds along 25 are more naturalized, but this pond here in the middle by the clubhouse was supposed to be a wet bottom pond. You can see they built walking paths around it. It's supposed to be an amenity. Well, the pond has been having trouble holding water. So most of last summer it was dry, or close to dry. It was kind of a muddy, stagnant mess. So what they're proposing to do is to sink a small, shallow well that will help keep the water level up. This well will not be connected to our water system at all. It will not be connected to our sewer system at all, and it will be entirely theirs to maintain. But our code does not allow private wells in areas served by our water. This is just for landscaping, though, so this ordinance would approve them to do it for the pond.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion.
Have we had an engineer take a look at this to make sure that we won't have any adverse effect to the surrounding properties?
So the water levels, like I said, it was supposed to be a wet bottom pond. It is probably the clay liner that they put in there to hold water, probably has some cracks or holes in it. Any excess water just drains down to the ponds downhill on 25 and then out to the river. And the houses around don't have basements. So we are not anticipating any problems. Public Works has looked at it because they got the well request, but we're not anticipating any issues.
Call roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Item 4, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2024-25 budget to authorize a newly created Administrative Operations Assistant position. This was discussed at the March 3rd Committee of the Whole meeting when we were going over the budget. This position will assume some certain duties from the Community Relations Coordinator, which then will allow the Community Relations Coordinator to primarily focus on community outreach, village events, some economic development initiatives, and village marketing. Some of those duties that they will be taking over relate to compiling all meeting agendas and packets, handling Freedom of Information Act requests, serving as a deputy clerk, providing office support. The total impact on this year's budget would be $12,910.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Roll, please.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
I think that concludes new business. Village President report. I have nothing. Trustee comments? Administrator report?
Yeah, I thought I'd just mention one thing. I know the board has talked about it in the past. We've talked about the idea of a road diet. It's in our comprehensive plan to look into one. It's also in our strategic plan to look at lane configurations on Route 31. We did engage our in-house engineer that we use, our consulting engineers, WBK Engineering, who has an arm of their branch that does traffic analysis. And at the end of last week, they did give us back a preliminary analysis. It's dozens of pages long, but the conclusion was that they thought there was some feasibility in North Aurora getting a road diet for at least a significant portion of Route 31. Most likely the intersection of Oak Street to State Street would remain in the configuration that it's at now. And that would be because that's by far the highest traffic volume on Route 31 is that section. Because a lot of
Say that again. Oak Street to what?
to 56, so it's to State Street. So right by from the fire station down to State Street.
My concern is also going north because it's a residential street. You know, I was going to the turf room a couple of weeks ago and I almost got sideswiped because somebody was trying to pass me. And, you know, that's an area that I'm concerned about too. Have they said anything about going?
Yeah,
north?
the area that we're looking at, the road diet, actually starts all the way at Mooseheart. So where Batavia's ends in unincorporated King County at Mooseheart, our study would pick up from that portion of unincorporated King County, which they would still look for the local jurisdiction nearby to be the champion for that type of project. So we would start that from Mooseheart all the way south to Airport. And then, so just like Batavia's, if it was approved, and it still has to be reviewed by the village board, still has to go to IDOT, which could take a long time for their review. But the idea would be is that we would make it 3 lanes instead of 4 from Mooseheart to Oak, and then it would widen again to its current configuration, and then it would taper back from State Street to Airport. Believe it or not, because maybe not a lot of people go south of 88 when they're on 31, depending on which way they're going. But once you get past 88 and you get to that intersection, the lanes actually widen to a normal amount. So everything basically south of Airport to Sullivan is what a normal lane configuration would be today width-wise. Everything north of Airport is where you have the narrow lanes. So that's where the study focused on, because we also assumed that IDOT would have trouble. They're widening stuff by 31 and 88 in the upcoming years. I can't imagine that, given the traffic volume of coming off of 88 and knowing that they already have existing wider lanes, we just figured that would be Airport's perfect to stop at because it's got a stoplight and it's a good termination.
Aren't they going to be doing some repair work this summer?
Correct. So they'll be doing repair work, repaving. Likelihood of this to be, once again, we still have to go through a couple months, probably a review between us internally with WK, bringing their final report to the board. But then IDOT's review can be exponentially long. I mean, as far as we know, Batavia's was under review for 1 to 2 years. So it's not that this would be, if the board approved it, that it's overnight. IDOT would have to approve it. They'd have to approve the striping plan and make sure they're okay with it.
But they're going to resurface it this summer?
They are. They're going to resurface this summer.
That's good.
What's needed?
Anything else, Steve?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Department reports? Chief?
Mayor, out of the report that we, in 2 separate incidents, we've had 2 officers whose actions arose to deserving the North Aurora Police Department's Life-Saving Award. I will be bringing Joe Norris to the village board meeting on April 7th, and Mason Grant at the village board meeting on May 5th.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We'll be starting the committee of the whole shortly.